everybody. Am I audible?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So today we will be doing Shad Goswami. Okay. Shad means six. So there are six Goswamis, prominent Goswamis of Vrindavan, and we will be learning about the six Goswamis. Let's begin with the Kirtan and Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatamiram Dhatya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamelam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Let's begin with the Kirtan. Please go on mute, all of you. Okay. This is called Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Like you see in the picture, there are six Goswamis, right? So these are the six prominent Goswamis of Vrindavan. Okay, who are each of these will be explained in the song. What they are, what their qualities are, what they did. Okay, everything will be explained through the song in a very concise format, and we will be learning them in detail over the classes. Okay. कृष्णोत्कीर्तन गाननर्तन परौ प्रेमामृताम्बो निधि धीरा जन प्रिया प्रियकरौ निर्मत्सरौ पूजितौ श्रीकृष्णा कृपभारौ भुवि भुवो भारावहन्तारकौ वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ नानाशास्त्रविचारनैकनिपुणौ सद्धर्मसंस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मान्यौ शरण्याकरौ राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजना नन्देन मट्टालिकौ वन्दे रूप सनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ श्रीगौराङ्गगुणावुरावरणविधौ श्रद्धा समृद्ध्यान्वितौ पापोत्तापनिकृन्तनौ तनुभृतं गोविन्दगानामृतये आनन्दाम्बुदिवर्धनैकनिपुणौ कैवल्यनिष्ठारकौ वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ त्यक्त्वा तूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणिं सदा तुच्छवात् भूत्वा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया कौपीनकन्तारिषौ गोपी भावरसामृताब्धिलहरी कल्लोल भग्नौ मुहुः वन्दे रूप सनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ कूचत् कोकिलहंस सरसगणा कीर्णामयूराकुले नानारत्ननिबद्धमूलवितपा श्रीयुक्तवृन्दावने राधाकृष्णमहर्निशं प्रभजतौ जीवार्तदौ यौमुडा वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ साङ्ख्यापूर्वकनामगाननटिभिः कालावसानीकृतौ निद्राहारविहारकादिविजितौ सत्यन्तदीनौ च यौ राधाकृष्णगुणास्मृतेर्मधुरिमा नन्देन सम्मोहितौ वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ राधाकुण्डतटे कलिन्दतयया तीरे च वंशीवटे प्रेमोन्मादवसद्दशेषदशया ग्रस्तौ प्रमत्तौ सदा गायान्तौ च कदा हरिर्गुणवरम् भावीम्भूतौ मुदा वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ हे राधे व्रजदेविके च ललिते हे नन्दसूनो कुटा श्रीगोवर्धनकल्पपादपतले कालिन्दिवाने कुटा घोषान्ताविति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे केदैर्महाविह्वलौ वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, let's see the translation. So as mentioned here in the song, Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghu Yuga Shri Jiva Gopalaka. So these are the 6 Goswamis. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami and Gopal Bhatt Goswami. These are the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Okay, so the translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, who are always engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna and dancing. They are just like the ocean of love of God, and they are popular both with the gentle and with the refined, because they are not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they are all pleasing to everyone, and they are fully blessed by Lord Chaitanya. Thus, they are engaged in missionary activities meant to deliver all the conditioned souls in the material universe. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. They are very much enriched in understanding Lord Chaitanya and who are thus expert in narrating his transcendental qualities. They can purify all conditioned souls from the reactions of their sinful activities by pouring upon them transcendental songs about Govinda. As such, they are very expert in increasing the limits of the ocean of transcendental bliss, and they are the saviors of the living entities from the devouring mouth of liberation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis who kicked off all association of aristocracy as insignificant in order to deliver the poor conditioned souls. They accepted um, loin clothes, treating themselves as mendicants, but they are always merged in the ecstatic ocean of the gopis' love for Krishna and bathe always and repeatedly in the waves of that ocean. I offer my respectful obeisances to the 6 Goswamis who were always engaged in worshipping Radha Krishna in the transcendental land of Vrindavan, where there are beautiful trees full of fruits and flowers which have under their roots all valuable jewels. The Goswamis are perfectly competent to bestow upon the living entities the greatest boon and boon of the goal of life. I offer my respectful obeisances to the 6 Goswamis who were engaged in chanting the holy names of the Lord and bowing down in a scheduled measurement. In this way, they utilized their valuable lives, and in executing these devotional activities, they conquered overeating and sleeping and were always meek and humble, enchanted by remembering the transcendental qualities of the Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis who were sometimes on the bank of the Radha Kunda lake or the shores of the Yamuna and sometimes at Vamshivata. So they are there they appeared just like madmen in full ecstasy of love for Krishna, exhibiting different transcendental symptoms in their body, and they were merged in the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and Gopal Bhatt Goswami, who were chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavan, shouting, Queen of Vrindavana, Radharani, O Lalita, O son of Nanda Maharaja, where are you all now? Are you just on the hill of Govardhan, or are you under the trees on the banks of Yamuna? Where are you? These were the moods in executing Krishna consciousness. So this clearly shows that the Goswamis, the Shad Goswamis, are not from this world. They are from Goloka. They are from Radha Krishna Loka. Okay, they are all Manjaris. They are all Manjaris. Manjaris are young girls, okay, around 12 years old. They are 12-year-old girls who are assisting the gopis or sakhis of Radharani. Sakhis are again they are around 16 years old. They are directly friends or servants of Radharani. Okay, so Manjaris are servants of the Sakhis. Sakhis are servants of Radharani directly. Okay, so this is the hierarchy, and these are Manjaris. These Shad Goswamis, all of them are Manjaris from Goloka. They are 12 years old girls there in Goloka. They have come down just to deliver us. Okay, so that is why they are still in that mood. You can see over here, where are you all? Where are you, Radharani? Where are you, Nanda Maharaj? Oh, son of Nanda Maharaj. Okay, so they're asking, where are you, Krishna? Where are you, Radha? Are you there? Are you there on the hill of Govardhan, or are you here at the bank of Yamuna? Where are you? So they are still in the modes, and that mode in them gets activated very often. That's why you can see over here they appeared like madmen in full ecstasy and love for Krishna. All right, so I already told you in the previous class that for us we are not even devotees, right? We are just trying to become devotees. If we understand the actual meaning of devotion, then we will understand we are nowhere close to devotion. We are nowhere close to becoming devotees. So for us, even if we get that, Vipralamba bhav, it is for a very short amount of time. Okay, even if you get that feeling of missing Krishna or missing Radharani, it's just short amount of time. It maybe it lasts for seconds or minutes, and sometimes most of the times it is just assumption. We assume that we are in that form, Vipralamba bhav, or we are missing Krishna, but we are actually not missing Krishna. And if we are genuinely experiencing it, it's just for minutes or moments, a few seconds or minutes. But that is what that makes us different from pure devotees. For pure devotees, it is always, they are 24 hours in a day, they are in that full ecstatic bhav. Okay, but we are not. For a moment it happens, and then we come back to the same material engagement, right? So same work, office work, same materialistic friends group, same thing. We get pack, but for them it's not the case. That is what that separates us from pure devotees. Okay, that is why Krishna says the only instruction, the main instruction that Krishna gives in Bhagavad Gita, what does he give? Manmana bhava madbhakto, right? You need to think of me always. Only then you can become a devotee of me, right? And you can offer your homage unto me. That is what Krishna says. Think about him. Thinking about him is the only key. That is what is going to make the difference. All right. Just give me a moment. So if you see in Chaitanya Leela also, um, you know, so Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Krishna himself, but he was also acting in the same way, right? Always falling unconscious. When he went to see Jagannath, he couldn't even say Jagannath, his complete name in Puri. He said Jaga, Jaga, that too stammering, right? Choking throat. He said Jaga, Jaga, and then and he would fall unconscious. So that is the ecstatic feel, or what we call vipralamba bhav, missing Krishna completely. That means it shows how important Krishna is to you, right? When you miss, when a person is very important to you, then when that person goes away or travels, you will get the same feeling, right? When your mother leaves, or when your son leaves, when your husband leaves to some say some other state or some other country, right, or some other place for some time, even for those few days, you will miss them so much that you will talk to them every day. You will call them, video call them, you will see them, right? Every moment you'll be thinking, okay, what will she be doing now, what will he be doing now, right? So that is called vipralamba bhav. Like how a mother thinks about her child constantly, even if the child is at school, even if the child is at tuition, right? The mother will keep thinking about the child. The mother, whatever the mother is doing, sweeping, mopping, cooking, the only spontaneously she keeps thinking about her child, right? No, with no extraneous efforts. Nobody will remind her of her child. She constantly thinks, whether she likes it or not, automatically she starts thinking about her child. Same way, when a person is when Krishna becomes same way very important to us, to the same extent, that's when we also start thinking about him. That's when we become pure devotees. Okay, so the whole ambition, or the agenda of this life, of this janma, should be focused on making Krishna that important to us, to ourselves. All right. So these are the Shad Goswamis. You can see, okay, all of them look alike. Um, so Goswami. And by the way, what is the meaning of Goswami? Who knows? What is the meaning of the word Goswami? You can unmute and answer. Yes, Nandita Mataji.
Who conquers his senses.
Yes, Hari Bol. So Swami means controller, okay, or master. Okay, Swami is a master, and Go means senses. So if you have become the master of your senses, you are called Goswami. Okay, that means if you can control your senses, you are called Goswami. Okay, so these Goswamis, Shad Goswamis, they could control their senses. But Go Dasa, what are we? We are all Go Dasa. Dasa means what? Servant of our senses. Go, servant, Dasa of our go, right? Senses. That's why we are all called Go Dasa. We cannot control, right? Rather, what is happening? The senses are controlling us. Our mind is controlling us. We are helplessly accepting the defeat, right? So many times we understand, maybe it could be sleep, it could be hunger. We are not able to overcome, right? So many times we could have we would have felt ourselves, oh, that one moment, if I could have controlled my sleep, I would have done a lot of more productive work today, right? If that one moment, if I could have controlled my hunger, I would have done Nirjal Ekadashi today. Something like that, we would have understood, right? We lot of us would have experienced that. We also regret for that, right? So because we don't have any control over our own senses. But that's not the case with the Goswamis, because they have conquered their senses. as Mataji told. Okay, and that is what makes us different from Goswamis. Okay, that's why these 6 Goswamis, how they conquered their senses, what are the evidences, okay, the process, evidences, results, everything we will be covering in this sessions, okay, following sessions. Now, three responsibilities. Okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met these all 6 Goswamis and delegated them with 3 key responsibilities. Okay, what is that? Discovering the pastime places in Vrindavan. That is one thing. So Vrindavan, Radha Krishna Leela happened in Vrindavan, right? All Vrindavan Leela happened. But now that happened in Dwapar Yuga. All right, 5,000 years ago. Chaitanya Leela happened just 500 years ago in Kali Yuga. So by then, in Vrindavan in itself was, fully covered, right? The place in itself was fully covered with mud and everything. All those pastime places were fully covered. So nobody could identify which place, which lila happened in which place, right? So it had to be again rediscovered, right? So that responsibility Chaitanya Mahaprabhu assigned to the Goswamis. What was the responsibility? Go to Vrindavan, uncover, rediscover each of those places where specific leelas happen and preserve them, right? Like how we preserve historic monuments today, same way. All right, that is the first task. Next, install deities. Okay, we have 7 primary temples in Vrindavan. Okay, we will be seeing all that going forward. Okay, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Damodar, Radha Govinda Dev, right? So many different temples we have. 7 prominent temples are there. So all those 7 prominent temples were made by the 6 Goswamis. So 6 Goswamis, they were all aristocratic people. Okay, they had a lot of money. So they used all that money to construct beautiful temples and install deities of Krishna, and not just install and stop there. Make sure the worship is going on according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi. That is very important. Okay, they used to delegate people to take care of the temples and maintain them. Right. Next is Bhakti cult, establishing Bhakti cult and Vaishnava etiquette by writing books and setting themselves as examples. All right, by their actions. So they wrote a lot of scriptures. All the scriptures aim at one thing: cultivating bhakti. How to cultivate bhakti? For normal people like us, we don't know, right? So they wrote a lot of scriptures just to make us understand how to cultivate bhakti, and they showed them they themselves showed by example through their actions, by donating all their earnings that they had, by leading a mendicant life, by leading a simple life. They were out of house, they had such huge mansions, they left all that and they started staying under a tree, right? So this way they showed by example how to behave as a devotee, how much renunciation we must have. This doesn't mean we also need to leave our house and go to the forest. What this means is, even if you are in say around you, you have lot of 2 kgs of gold with you in your cupboard, okay, but you need to behave in such a way that 2 kgs of gold does not belong to you, it belongs to Krishna. Krishna has given to you to take care of it and use it for him, not for yourself. Okay, that is called renunciation. As a devotee, that is our responsibility. Being renounced does not mean giving away that 2 kg gold to somebody else. No, keeping it and using it for Krishna and becoming least attached or completely not. You should not be attached to that gold. You need to act as if it's not yours. It's Krishna's prasadam. You are just there temporarily taking care of it, right? So that should be the attitude. That is called renunciation. This gold was just an example. This applies to everything, our entire life, to our very own body also. This body is not belonging to us. Okay, this will go. After some time, this body will perish and the soul will go and take some other body, right? So that attachment should not be there. That is called a renunciation. And the Goswamis set an example for that. All right, so these were the 3 tasks. Okay, first thing, rediscovering or uncovering the pastime places in Vrindavan. Okay, so second thing, installing deities and ensuring deity worship. That's why Vrindavan is called city of temples, right? So many temples, I think hundreds of temples are there, out of which there are prominent temples, all done by Goswamis. Okay, and then establishing Vaishnava etiquette and Bhakti cult by writing books and setting themselves as examples. Okay. So first Goswami, who are the Shad Goswamis we just discussed? Who can list? Shad means 6. Okay. Can anybody list the names of the 6 Goswamis? Bhan is already on the screen. Yes,
Hare
you
Krishna,
can
Mataji.
unmute. Hare
Should I
Krishna.
make an
Mataji.
attempt?
Yes, yes.
Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Dasa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and Gopala Bhatta Goswami.
Hari Bol. Tanya Mataji. Hari Bol. Very nice. Okay. These are the 6 Goswamis. Okay. First, so although, see, Sanatan Goswami is actually elder brother of Rupa Goswami. Although Sanatan Goswami is elder, we consider Rupa Goswami to be prominent, more prominent than Sanatan Goswami. Okay. So that's why in Bhakti or in spirituality, seniority is not decided by age factor. It is decided by knowledge. Okay, knowledge and submission, and how much engaged are you in Krishna Bhakti Seva. Okay, based on these factors, the seniority is being decided, not on age. Okay, simply aging will not make any difference. The Rupa Goswami is the first Goswami. So this mantra, again, it's very familiar to all of us. We every day recite in Mangalacharan, right? Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Okay, so why do we anybody knows why do we chant this mantra in Mangalacharan every day? Why do we give specific importance or so much importance to Rupa Goswami? Who knows? Why not to other Goswamis? We respect all the Shad Goswamis, but special importance or attention is given to Rupa Goswami. Why? Who can tell me? Nobody knows? Okay, I'm getting an answer in the chat. He gave us Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Yes, yes, he gave us Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Just because he gave us Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu doesn't mean we respect him so much. We respect him because we follow him. We are all followers of Rupa Goswami. Okay, the entire cult, the clan that we are, the clan. Okay, the Prabhupada's clan. We are all clan, right? We are all like a family. So we follow who? Rupa Goswami. That's why we are called Rupanugas. We follow in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami. We follow all the instructions and the track led by Rupa Goswami. All right. So, as Mataji has commented, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is this one scripture which we call law book of devotion. All the rules are listed there, and we don't do anything apart from that. And we make sure we follow everything given in that book. All right. It's called that's why it's called law book of Vaishnavism or Vaishnava etiquette. Okay. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu was translated and purports were written, okay, by Prabhupada, and it was given to us as nectar of devotion. Very, very difficult. It looks the book looks thin because we do only first quarter of the book, okay, but very difficult to understand. Even if great acharyas, senior devotees have read it 3 times, 4 times, and they still say nothing has entered my head. So it's important. I mean, it's important to read and understand the rules and all that, but internalizing it is very difficult because we cannot even relate. No, we are not even in that paradigm yet. We are fully immersed in the material paradigm. All right, so that's why Rupa Goswami is like our monitor, our leader. Okay, the Rupa Anugas. Anuga means follower. Okay, Rupa. So we are all followers of Rupa Goswami. So we are all known as Rupa Anugas, and that's why special attention or focus is given on Rupa Goswami. Okay, because he's indirectly or directly leading our movement, leading Prabhupada's movement. Okay, so the translation of the shloka: when will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Okay, so when will he give me the shelter? See, dadati swapadantikam. When will Rupa Goswami show some mercy upon me and give me the shelter of his lotus feet? And why did he come to this world? To establish the mission, to fulfill the mission of Chaitanya, the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the one who delegated those tasks, right? The 3 tasks. He came to fulfill them. All right. Mathurate pata taila rupa sanatana. Dui senapati kaila bhakti pracharana. So Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami are brothers. Okay. So Sanatan Goswami is the elder brother. Rupa Goswami is the younger brother. Okay. So these two are, see, Shad Goswamis, out of all Goswamis, Shad Goswamis are prominent. Out of those 6 Goswamis, these 2 Goswamis are prominent, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Out of these, again, the most prominent is Rupa Goswami. Okay. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dispatched the 2 generals, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, to Vrindavan to preach the Bhakti cult. So these 2 lead other Goswamis. Okay. Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami belong to Bharadvaja Gotra. They are all from pure Brahmin family. They were born to Brahmanas. All right, from their birth, they are into Brahmin Varna. Okay, Bharadvaja Gotra, which indicates that they belonged either to the family or disciplic succession of Bharadvaja Muni. Sri Anupama. Anupama is the again, see, there are 3 brothers, Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and Anupama. They are 3 brothers, but Anupama does not belong to this Shad Goswami category. All right, and Anupama just associates with them, accompanies with them wherever they go, but he does not belong to the Goswami category. Okay, so Anupama is a brother, youngest, I believe. Yeah. So these are the 3 brothers, siblings. So Sri Rupa Goswami became the Sultan. So these 2, no, Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they are very intellectual. Okay. So academically, they are very, very strong, proficient. Because of this excellent academic proficiency, they were given this very high position. Okay. What is that high position? They became, Rupa Goswami became a Sultan. Sorry, what am I saying? Sultan. See, in those days, it was Mughals who were ruling, right? The Sultan Alauddin Hussein Shah was the ruler of that particular region, and he became Dhabir Khas, chief secretary of Sultan. Okay, chief secretary is not a very it's a very high role. Okay, it's a very high position. At least in those days, becoming a chief secretary of the king is not it's not a joke. Okay, it's very high. And because they started serving a Muslim community, because Sultan is a Muslim, they Brahmanas, no, these Rupa Goswami belong to a Brahmana sector, right? So all the Brahmanas banished him, and they said, you don't belong to Brahmana community anymore, because you've given up your ethics, and you are serving a Mughal or Islam community. So you do not belong to Brahmana sect anymore. So they banished him out of anger. Okay. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami got a chance to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the first time, and he approached the Lord humbly and prayed to him to somehow rescue them from the bonded state. See, they it's not that they want to go out of Brahmana community. They were serving the Mughal out of their will or anything. They were just going with the flow of life. All right, they got a position, they accepted. Okay, then later on they were banished from the community. So now they are they are bound with the Mughal community, right? Now they have to serve the king, the Sultan, right? Now, so Rupa Goswami prays to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he meets him to free him up from this bonded. Prabhu said, now that you have surrendered, okay, now that is the condition. That's very important. You need to submit yourself to Krishna. Okay, now that you have surrendered, you would soon be delivered. Okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is assuring you will soon be delivered and you will be able to join my Sankirtan movement. Do not worry. Okay, I will deliver you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is assuring. So Rupa Goswami, after meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, resigned. Okay, he resigned his position from his position. All right, government job that he had, he gave it up, the chief secretary job. And what did he do? See, when you resign from a government position, you get a lot of money, right? Pension, gratuity, and so many other things you get. Right. So he got boats, boats, right? Ships or boats which travel, that carry goods. Boats full of money. That much of gold coins he got. That much of earnings he had. Okay. So when he retired, he started counting all his money and it filled up boats. Not one boat, boats, multiple boats of money. Gold coins. That rich Rupa Goswami was. Can you imagine? Can you now imagine? And when he went to Vrindavan to meet Lord Chaitanya, again. So after resigning, he now see after he gave up his job to go and serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he needs to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again, right? So again he went to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that time on his younger brother, I told you Anupama, right? Anupama is also called as Vallabha. So he went with him. Okay. Now they first went to Mathura before going to Vrindavan. There they met a gentleman called Subuddhi Raya. So Subuddhi Raya is a poor man. He was maintaining himself by selling wood, fuel wood. Okay. Now he was also a devotee of the Lord. And so he got very happy when he met Rupa Goswami and Anupama. And what did he do? Subuddhi Raya took them along with him and showed them all the forests of Vrindavan. There are 12 prominent forests in Vrindavan. He showed them all the forests in Vrindavan. Okay, it was like very nice exploring Vrindavan. And then they lived in Vrindavan for a month. Okay, and then they went in search of for Sanatan Goswami. So parallelly, there is a story or there is something happening to Sanatan Goswami also, which we will be learning further. Okay, so while this was happening, Rupa Goswami, Anupama exploring the forests of Vrindavan, parallelly there is something happening with Sanatan Goswami also. Okay, that's why for a month they lived in Vrindavan and they rushed to see Sanatan Goswami. Okay, now following the course of the Ganges, they reached Allahabad or Prayag Tirtha, but because Sanatan Goswami had come there by a different road, they did not meet him there. And when Sanatan Goswami came to Mathura, he was informed of the visit of Rupa Goswami and Anupama by Subuddhi Raya. So now Sanatan Goswami has also left to Vrindavan to meet them. Okay, now Rupa Goswami and Anupama have also left, searching for Sanatan Goswami, right? So they went through the Ganges, Allahabad, Prayag Tirtha, everything. All right, but they could not meet Sanatan Goswami because Sanatan Goswami had taken a different route, road to me. So they did not meet him there. So Sanatan Goswami also reached Mathura. Okay, so there again, Subuddhi Raya informed Sanatan Goswami that Rupa Goswami and Anupama had also been there in Mathura. Okay, so you can imagine, right? This is like a novel story or a film story where there are scenes, separate scenes happening, right? Visualize. Only then we can connect. And then when Rupa Goswami and Anupama met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Benares, they heard about Sanatan Goswami's travels from him, and thus they returned to Bengal, adjusted their affairs with the state, and on the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to see the Lord at Jagannath Puri. Okay, so this is happening now. What is happening? They finally meet. Rupa Goswami and Anupama finally meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the second time, not in Vrindavan, but in Benares. Okay, they've traveled, no? So they've reached Benares and they meet him there. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is all pervasive, right? He knows everything. So he knows about Sanatan Goswami's travel also. So he explains to Rupa Goswami about it. And then they go to Bengal. Whatever little bit of affairs they had, they get all that cleared, they get relieved, and then they go to Puri. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Rupa Goswami to go to Puri and first take darshan of Jagannath. All right. Now Srila Rupa Goswami gave up his family connections and divided the wealth as follows. So we just saw here, right? Adjusted their affairs with the state, went back to Bengal and adjusted their affairs with the state. So this also entails dividing his wealth. I told you already, right? He has boats and boats of wealth, ships and ships of wealth, gold coins, right? So what will he do with all that? He is giving it up. He's given up his career. He's given up his family attachments. Okay, he's given up his family bondage also. He's no more a son. He's no more a husband, or he's no more a whatever. Okay, he's given up all the family members' connections. And he's given up his attachment with the wealth also that he has. So what did he do with his wealth? He divides it. So technical, right? See, logically, he divides it 50% of his wealth. He gives it to Krishna and Vaishnavas. Okay. So giving it to Krishna and Vaishnavas means, I told you he constructed temples, right? So it was all done with this 50% of the amount. Okay, constructing temples, helping the Vaishnavas and all that was done with 50% of the amount. In remaining 50%, he divided equally. 25% he gave it to his family members. All right, and remaining 25% he kept it with himself, thinking that if some emergency comes up, he can use it. Always. So this is the rule we follow in ISKCON also. When you want to, become a full-time brahmachari or join temple or anything as such, all right. So this is advisable, not that it's a hard and fast rule. Okay, it's advisable to do this. 50% give it to the ISKCON center that you are in, and the Vaishnavas. Remaining 25% to the family members, and 25% you can keep it with yourself. Okay, maybe for health emergency or any other emergency, you can use it. So this is why do we follow this? Because we are followers of Rupa Goswami, Rupanugas. Okay, whatever he did, we follow in his footsteps. All right. Yeah. Then he met Haridas Thakur in Jagannath Puri. So now Rupa Goswami has gone to Jagannath Puri, right, to see Jagannath. Now he meets Haridas Thakur in Jagannath Puri, where he also met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his other associates. Okay, so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lives in Puri, right? After taking sannyas, he moved to Puri, and Haridas Thakur is also in Puri. So when Rupa Goswami went to Puri, he could meet everybody. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to praise the handwriting of Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami is very intellectual, academically proficient. We all saw that. So obviously he has a very nice handwriting too. Okay. So Srila Rupa Goswami. So what does this mean? Praising Rupa Goswami's handwriting means that indirectly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying you need to start writing. Okay. Start writing books on Vaishnava cult, etiquette. Okay. So Srila Rupa Goswami could compose verses according to the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by his direction, he wrote 2 books named Lalita Madhava and Vidhagta Madhava. Okay, these are just 2 books mentioned here. He wrote so many books. We will see all that. Okay, and now Lord Chaitanya desired the 2 brothers, Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, to publish many books in support of Vaishnava religion. So Rupa Goswami is described as the Bhakti Rasacharya, or one who knows the essence of devotional service. Rasa means taste, the mellow. Okay, the mellow or the sweet taste that you get out of bhakti, out of devotional service that you offer to Krishna. He knows it. He has tasted it. He has mastered that art. That's why he's called Bhakti Rasacharya. Who? Rupa Goswami. All right. That's why that is reflected in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu. If you read that book, you will understand what an expert devotee Rupa Goswami is. So advanced. All right. We cannot even match up. We shouldn't even think about matching up. That is another offense. Looking at the quality of book that he's written. All right. And Gaudiya Vaishnavas are known as Rupanugas, followers of Sri Rupa Goswami, which we already discussed. Now, Sri Narottama Das Thakur sings Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, say more Sampada, say more Bhajana, Pujana. So the feet of Sri Rupa Goswami or Rupa Manjari. So Rupa Goswami is real identity. We already saw, right? The Shad Goswami's real identity is Manjari in Goloka. So Rupa Goswami's real identity is he is a Manjari in Goloka. So she, okay, he is a she. Actually, he's a she, Manjari in Goloka. And what's her name? Her name is Rupa Manjari. Okay. So he's saying, Narottama Das Thakur is saying that the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami, okay, are my only wealth. They are the only subject of my service and worship. So Rupa Goswami wanted to make kheer. Okay, these are all past tense. We are entering the past tense of Rupa Goswami. Okay, so parallelly, what happened to Sanatan Goswami, we will be learning under learning next class. Okay, when we learn about Sanatan Goswami. All right, just give me a moment. Let me post the attendance link. Okay, I will post it in some time. All right. Okay, so Rupa Goswami's pastimes, different pastimes are explained over here. Like let me tell you in a brief how their lifestyles were. Okay, all the Goswami's lifestyles. So, Rupa Goswami, the job assigned to Rupa Goswami by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to write, more of writing, all right, and installing the deities and discovering places in Vrindavan, pastime places, right? So while he was busy doing all this, how was his lifestyle? So now he shifted to Vrindavan. He donated he divided his wealth. All that is done. Now he's come permanently settled in Vrindavan. Okay. How did he live? As you see in the picture, he used to have this water pot, okay, to drink water, right? And writing materials, the peacock feather and palm leaves and all that to write. All right, and a mat or something like that to sit upon. Okay, and he would choose a tree. Okay, so tree was his house. Okay, so entire day he would sit under a tree, write the scriptures. All right, he was a mendicant, so obviously he will not cook or anything as such. When people give him food, he will eat prasadam. He will eat. He will definitely offer it to the Lord and eat. Right, and he will go out, discover different pastime places, again come back under the same tree for that particular day and continue writing. Right, so this was his job, and he would have a deity definitely, and he would worship. Okay, this was the lifestyle. After that night he would sleep there under the same tree. In the morning he would wake up, leave that tree, and he would go and search for a different tree. Okay, he would go and search for a different tree, and that particular day again that new tree would become his shelter. Okay, again next day he would leave that tree and go and search for a new tree. Okay, why? Can anybody tell me why he's not selecting one tree for his entire lifetime? Why different trees? Yes, Vivek
so
Prabhuji.
that
Sorry,
so that so that it doesn't get attached to the tree.
Haribol. Yes. So this is, can you imagine the amount of renunciation they had? They did not want to get attached to anything, literally anything, not even the tree. All right. So this is how they used to do. So we are so attached, right? My house. Oh, what if somebody enters my house? What if somebody takes this? So attached, thinking as if we own everything, right? We are thinking, no, I have earned money and I brought this from my hard-earned money, so this is mine, right? And when somebody takes it or it gets destroyed, we sit and cry. Oh, it went away, right? As if we own. No, what are we owning? Right? What are we owning? I don't know what we are proud of. We cannot even digest the food we eat without Krishna. Okay, we eat and sit. All we can do is eat and sit. All right. To digest the food that we have eaten, Krishna needs to come in the form of digestive fire in the stomach. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. And he needs to come in the form of digestive fire or acidic content or whatever it is, the HCl acid that we have in our stomach, right? He needs to come in that form and digest the food that we eat. Right? We cannot even digest what we eat. And what are we proud of? I don't understand. Right? So this is the lesson we need to take back. Do not get attached. All right. And Govinda Dev discovered at the site. Okay, now I told you, right? The prominent deities, each of these Shad Goswamis discovered. So the like Sanatan Goswami discovered Radha Madan Mohan. Same way, Rupa Goswami discovered Govinda Dev. Okay, Radha Govinda Dev deity. How was it discovered? All that we will be seeing one by one. Okay, so now Rupa Goswami wanted to prepare kheer. Okay, he wanted to prepare kheer and offer it to Sanatan Goswami. So once what happened, Sanatan Goswami visited Rupa Goswami, and because Sanatan Goswami is elder brother, he's elder to Rupa Goswami, right? So he wanted to offer something as a token of respect to his elder brother. So he wanted to prepare kheer. Okay. Now he's a mendicant. I already told you his lifestyle. He does not have anything. He does not have stove to cook. He does not have the raw ingredients, right? rice or ghee or sugar or anything to cook. So what will he do? He does not know anything, right? He does not even have fire to cook. But he wanted to make kheer, offer it to the Lord and offer it to Sanatan Goswami. So now Sanatan Goswami is a Manjari, right? Radharani's assistant. And Rupa Goswami is also a Manjari, Radharani's assistant. Now, who should support them? Radharani herself, right? So what happened when Rupa Goswami was sitting and thinking how to make kheer, Radharani came in a nice, a girl in the form of a nice small girl form. She came with all the ingredients, okay, sugar, rice and everything, ghee and everything, and made all the arrangements for Rupa Goswami to cook. Okay, she came, she gave it to him, and then she left. So Rupa Goswami was still wondering why, how come she came and all that. So she gave him reasons. Okay, he take it, it's okay, and all that. So she somehow convinced him, and he took it. He prepared kheer. Okay, he offered it to the Lord, and Sanatan Goswami came and he offered the prasadam to Sanatan Goswami. And then Sanatan Goswami ate and all that, and then finally he started questioning him. How did you cook? You are a mendicant. How did you get the ingredients? How could you cook? Right? So now Rupa Goswami explains. So this happened. One small girl from somewhere came with all the raw ingredients. She made all the arrangements, and she left. All right. And I couldn't even see her. She just left. Okay. Then Sanatan Goswami says, Are, you know who she is? She's Radharani herself who has come to assist you. All right. And then Rupa Goswami gets goosebumps all over his body, and then he understands how sweet or how merciful is Radharani, who is personally come to assist him, right? Personally come to help Rupa Goswami, right? So if we give ourselves to Krishna, Krishna will give himself to us. Okay, if we prioritize Krishna, Krishna will prioritize us, right? We say, oh, so much time, who will spend in that? Who will spend time in reading Bhagavad Gita? In that 1 hour, I could have completed my office presentations. I would have completed all my pending work, right? If you give time to Krishna, Krishna will expand your time. Okay, believe me, it's not a joke. Every time when you spend 2 hours continuously to chant your 16 rounds in one go, that 2 hours, believe me, somehow or the other, maybe you are able to complete your task faster, or I don't know, you somehow get those 2 hours covered in that particular day. Okay, this is Krishna's gift. Krishna, whatever he takes from you, multiplies it by multiple times. He multiplies it and gives it to you, right? Even if it is time, trust me. So we need to prioritize him so that he will also prioritize us. This is one thing. Second thing is Govinda Dev. The deity that Rupa Goswami installed in Vrindavan was Radha Govinda Dev deity. So how did he discover? This is very nice. Okay, so there was a cave sort of a thing. Okay, where inside that was Govinda Dev deity lying. All right. Now all the cows, most of the cows, okay, used to go and pour milk over there every day. So Rupa Goswami noticed this. Why is the cow giving milk over there every day? Right? That means there is something inside, right? So he went and uncovered or took the deity out, and he installed. So Radha Govinda Dev. All right. So most of the deities, discovered. Even Madhavendra Puri, the way he discovered the deity was, it's very nice. Okay, we need to listen to all this. All right, and this is how Govinda Dev was discovered. And then on another occasion, the Goswamis were having a discussion about the ecstatic feelings of separation of Radha Krishna and their associates. Sri Rupa Goswami began to breathe very heavily, and his heart felt as though it was burning. At one point, as he sighed his breath happened to fall on the body of one devotee present there. Shortly thereafter, a boil developed on that devotee's body where Sri Rupa Goswami's breath had touched. So much of heat was there in that breath. All right. When that breath touched a devotee, a boil developed on that devotee. So this shows the urge or the heat that was there in the breath, right? Because his heart was burning out of separation from Radha Krishna. Why? Because they belong to Goloka. They have come here, right? No, right now they are in separation from Radha Krishna. So his heart was burning out of that separation. This is called Vipralamba Bhav. Okay, so now these are the books that Rupa Goswami wrote. So many books. Okay, Hamsa Duta, Uddhava Sandesha, Krishna Janma Titi Vidhi, Radha Krishna Gunodesha Deepika, Stavamala, Vidhagda Madhava, Lalita Madhava, Dana Keli Kaumudi. Okay, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is which Prabhupada has picked and translated for us into Nectar of Devotion. Okay, one can understand the essence of devotional service to Krishna, and the transcendental mellows one can derive from such service. That is Nectar of Devotion. Okay, Ujjvala Neelamani, Akhyata Chandrika, Mathura Mahima, Padyavali, Nataka Chandrika, Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Okay, so the temple he constructed was Govinda Dev temple. And in the Gaura Gunodesha Deepika, Srila Rupa Goswami is described as Rupa Manjari. That is his eternal position. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let me share the attendance link. Give me a moment. Yes, please fill your attendance. And any questions, any doubts, please ask. In the next class, we will be learning about Sanatan Goswami. There's a lot more to Rupa Goswami, but you know, this is all we could take and convey. Any questions? No questions? Okay. So if there are no questions, we can end the class. All right. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thanks for joining.